Entonces, compártelo.
¿Le puedes bajar para desconectar este? ¿Ya?
¿Se puede desconectar?
Dajiahao. Bienvenidos sean todos al primer encuentro México-China organizado por la Escuela Nacional de Antropología e Historia, en marco del 85 aniversario de nuestra querida universidad. Es un honor para mí poder saludarlos a ustedes, pero en especial contar con la asistencia de invitados tan importantes que nos acompañan el día de hoy, como la doctora Lu Zhaoyang, primera secretaria encargada de Asuntos Educativos de la Embajada de la República Popular China, el señor Xu Li, primer secretario encargado de Ciencia y Tecnología de la Embajada de la República Popular China en México, el director del Centro Cultural China en México, el señor Lu Jun, al igual que Xu Di, del Centro Cultural China en México. La curiosidad y el interés por el conocimiento de una cultura milenaria, como lo es la cultura china, nos reúne el día de hoy a estudiantes, profesores, conocedores y apasionados a los estudios antropológicos e históricos, tanto de México como de todo el mundo. Este encuentro representa una gran oportunidad única para intercambiar ideas y conocimientos, así como para fortalecer nuestra comprensión sobre la riqueza cultural y la diversidad de un hermoso país como lo es China. La Escuela Nacional de Antropología e Historia ha sido y sigue siendo una institución líder en investigación, conservación y difusión del patrimonio cultural de México, y hoy celebramos su larga trayectoria. A lo largo de las próximas horas tendremos la oportunidad de escuchar a los profesores Lu Zhaoyang de Xidian en Xi'an y Ting Li, grandes profesores con una variedad de temas relacionados con la antropología y la historia. Espero que disfruten mucho este evento, aprendan mucho y que lo que vean hoy despierte su curiosidad y pasión por seguir aprendiendo de esta gran cultura. De igual manera, que salgan de aquí con una perspectiva más amplia y más completa sobre su visión del mundo. Bienvenidos.
Bien, algo que nos gustaría agregar es que a nombre del arqueólogo David Arreola, que es coordinador de arqueología aquí en la ENAH, que bueno, en este momento, en un ratito más se nos une, me pide de favor que haga esta bienvenida extensiva a todos ustedes como parte de los profesores, que estamos muy orgullosos de que ustedes estén así con nosotros presentes y que tengamos, por lo tanto, el primer encuentro de muchos eventos que se realicen entre México y China, sobre todo encuentros entre arqueólogos y antropólogos que nos ayuden a establecer y a vincular más estas dos grandes culturas. ¿Por qué? Porque ambas culturas somos culturas milenarias. Bienvenidos.
Buenas tardes, y por qué no también una extensión de un encuentro musical y no musicológico, y parte de esto son algunas melodías tradicionales chinas, como lo han comentado, de dos culturas muy milenarias, como lo es China y México, bueno, de todo lo que tiene que ver con los instrumentos prehispánicos. Y vamos a ir escuchando pequeñas melodías tradicionales chinas y vamos a conocer un poquito de esos instrumentos, como también algunos instrumentos prehispánicos. Y bueno, el primer instrumento es un hulusi, que es una calabaza que conocemos con tres filitos de bambú muy particular, un sonido muy bello. Y la siguiente pieza se llama En lo profundo del bosque de bambú. gracias. Y un instrumento muy tradicional también muy conocido es el itzi o flauta transversa de bambú, que tiene un sonido muy particular porque lleva una membrana de una especie de bambú cuando está tierno, y es lo que hace el sonido característico de las flautas chinas. Y la siguiente canción que vamos a escuchar es un soundtrack de Xidian Master que se llama Uji. Y hay un instrumento muy bonito que se llama babú, y si no estoy babú. Y es parecido al polus y al primer instrumento que escuchamos de la calabaza, y vamos a escuchar esta melodía. Y para finalizar esta parte de instrumentos de música tradicional china, vamos a hacer con la flauta Dixie y la flauta Lucy con la música de un soundtrack de Begonia and the Big Fish.
Maybe I can sing with her. we just two strangers. The first time I meet here, so I don't know why.
Es la primera vez que se conocen y ya se dieron un abrazo. Gracias a la música. Pues, muchas gracias al flautista Santiago Ruiz por tocar la primera parte del encuentro milenario. Como ya lo mencionó, son melodías chinas con instrumentos chinos. Y después de la presentación del profesor Lu Zhaoyang, tocará música mesoamericana con instrumentos prehispánicos.
So I prepare a video, 6-minute video for this event. So please enjoy.
El profesor Lu Zhaoyang explicará en video de 6 minutos sobre la provincia de Shaanxi, en especial la ciudad de Xidian, que es donde él viene, y su universidad de Xidian, que está en la ciudad de Xi'an.
That's okay. From the beginning. Okay.
粗犷和豪迈，还有古老传承的精致和细腻。比如说羊肉泡馍、肉夹馍、凉皮、臊子面等等，这些美食都是 深邃，聆听陕北民歌，领略民间音乐的魅力。在陕西的大地上，我们见证了中华文化的博大精深，体验了陕西人民的淳朴热情。陕西是一张博大精深的文化画卷，它记录了历史的沉淀，展示了文化的传承。在这里，我们感受到了自然和人文的完美融合，看到了中华文明的脉络和发展。陕西的美永不止步，无尽无限，值得我们细细品味，深入感悟。愿陕西这片热土永远洋溢着中华文化的气息，愿这个美丽的地方永远保持着它的生命和活力。我们相信，这里的人们将会一如既往地传承和弘扬着中华文化的精髓，让它在世界舞台上熠熠生辉。
Thank you. Thank you.
Y comenzaremos con la participación del doctor Lu Zhaoyang de la Universidad de Xidian, el cual dará la conferencia El patrimonio folclórico en la provincia de Shaanxi.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen and dear friends, I want to express my thanks to my student Caijia. His Chinese name.
Caijia es mi nombre chino.
I'm terribly sorry that I don't speak any Spanish, so maybe he can help me to if we feel difficulties. Okay?
Así es.
So, thank you.
Yo le voy a ayudar al profesor en hacer algunas traducciones sobre el contenido de su presentación.
And I want to express my thanks to your professor.
Quiero
for
empezar
your
con un
university also.
agradecimiento a la maestra Atlántida por su muy bonita introducción al evento.
Thank you and your family and your university to invite me to visit here, Dreamland. You know, maybe we can visit US or other place, but I think it's a dreamland here for me to visit your country. And in these 2 days, I visit some museum and I learn some history about the Mexico, and Caijia teach me a lot of things, and I feel maybe the Chinese and Mexico, the China, Mexico, we can share many similar feeling. We have the similar historical stories, maybe, yeah?
Sí.
So it's my honor to be here.
Le agradece mucho a la maestra Atlántida, a ella y a su familia por la introducción tan cálida a la universidad. De igual manera, comenta el doctor Zhaoyang que está muy agradecido por la invitación a México, al país, y siente que es como un sueño poder venir. Ya lleva 2 días aquí, ha estado viajando por Morelos, por la Ciudad de México y yendo a diferentes sitios arqueológicos para aprender la historia de nuestro hermoso país, no solo escuchándola o leyéndola, sino viéndola, una historia viva.
Okay, thank you. This is my resume. I myself in fact, I am the professor about the telecommunications and pattern recognitions. I was the president of our university library for about 10 years. And at the same time, I was the president of the Archive Museum and even university history. And 2 years before, I'm ending my duty about the administration and as a pure professor. So I give my students lessons about the culture, about the folklores in Shaanxi province. And Cai Jia is my student, one of my students. So that's why we know each other. So do you need to translate into Spanish? No? Okay. I'm not sure. If
可以可以
要么我就讲汉语了 and then I can speak Chinese, okay? Is this okay?
可以
Okay. Let me outline my speech. I have three topics. First, I want to introduce my province. And then I want to introduce my university, a little bit, a very short introduction. And then the main part of the speech is about folklore in Shaanxi province.
Empezará con una introducción sobre la provincia de Shaanxi y datos generales sobre la provincia, y luego empezará con el folclore y la cultura de esta provincia.
Okay, where I'm from? I'm from China, of course. And where is China? So they told me, this is the picture, you know. So if we dig the earth deep and deeper, we can do this again, and if you reach the end, that's my hometown. So we just on the opposite side of the earth.
Profesor Lu Zhaoyang es de la provincia de Shaanxi, en la ciudad de Xi'an. Él comenta que literalmente, si hacemos un hoyo desde este punto de la tierra y bajamos, vamos a llegar a su provincia, a su ciudad, de tan lejos que está literal al otro lado del mundo, dándole una vuelta al mundo. Entonces este es un mapa de China, del continente, de todo el mundo, luego de China, y el lugar rojo es la provincia de Shaanxi.
Okay.
¿Qué es eso?
So the red map is China's, mainland China, the territory. And in the middle of this picture, our province, Shaanxi province, is just located in the center of China. Look at the map. And at the right side, it is exactly the map of Shaanxi province, so you know where we are. The capital of the Shaanxi province is also located in the center of the province, just in the center. So that's where we are from. This is a joke, you know. Compare the Shaanxi province with the United Kingdom. The shape is similar. The area is similar. Of course, the population, we are less than them. The capital of the United Kingdom, in London, they have a bell tower called Big Ben. And we, in our capital, in the capital of Shaanxi province, we also have a bell tower in the center. And we have a river. They have also a river, different names across the city. And they have their hamburgers. We have also our hamburgers. So someone said that maybe we are the long lost brothers.
可以可能
Yeah?
Profesor Lu Zhaoyang hace una comparación con su provincia y el Reino Unido, que son muy similares en la figura, la forma es muy similar, al igual que, bueno, hay más gente en el Reino Unido que en su provincia de Shaanxi, pero esto es una provincia, el otro es un país, y también hace mención de que en el Reino Unido tienen el Big Ben, y en Shaanxi, en la capital de Xi'an, tienen la Torre de la Campana, el Bell Tower, al igual que muchas similitudes. Como una broma para que tenga una introducción de Shaanxi.
Okay, this is some landmark about our city. The right corner is Bell Tower, just exact the center of the city. And close to the Bell Tower, we have a drama tower. It has about 700 years before building. And we have pagoda, how to say it, pagoda, wild ghost pagoda. It is also a tower. It is in Tang Dynasty, more than 1,000 years before. So this is the landmark of the city. Okay.
El profesor en esta diapositiva enseña uno de los lugares más importantes de la ciudad de Xi'an, que tenemos la Torre de la Campana, que es de la dinastía Ming, una pagoda budista de la dinastía Tang, después, sí, los dos son la Torre de la Campana de la dinastía Ming y la pagoda budista de la dinastía Tang. Tambor. Y tambor, sí.
Okay. Thank you. So you can help me, huh? Maybe this is the most famous place in Shaanxi province. The well-known the terracotta warrior, only 50 kilometers from Xi'an city. It's very famous. In Qin Dynasty.
Uno de los puntos más importantes de la ciudad, claro que es los guerreros de terracota de la dinastía Qing, del emperador Qin Shi Huang, la primera dinastía en la historia de China, la primera dinastía. Está en la provincia de Shaanxi.
It should be 2,000 years before. 2,000 years before. Okay? And this is there is a mountain, a very famous mountain, in the source of Xi'an city. We call this Huashan. It is very famous about their dangerous mountaineering. So there is very dangerous. You can look at the picture. This one. So it is straight, perpendicular street. There is it's very dangerous to cross or not.
Sí. Habla de la riqueza geomorfológica de la provincia de Shaanxi con la montaña Hua, que la traducción sería la montaña de la flor, Huashan.
Huashan, yeah. And we have also many mountains called Qinling. Qinling. It means it is a division, the South and North China. It's a very long mountains.
Y un cuerpo de montañas llamados montañas Qinling, que son las que dividen el norte y el sur de China.
This is our university. Maybe Zhaoyang, you know much better than me. Okay, so you can introduce our university by yourself. Okay.
我想Xidian 大学。
Yeah. He learned many things in our university for 1 year.
对。
1 year. So we have two campuses. One is in the downtown and another close to the mountains. Look at this picture. The main building is Russian style, you know. It is built in 1950s. And our new campus, this one, is close to the mountains.
El profe está hablando de su universidad, la Universidad de Xidian, University Xi'an Dashi, la cual tiene dos campuses en la ciudad de Xi'an, una en el centro, en el corazón de la ciudad, y otra por las montañas, que es un campus mucho más grande. Esta universidad está en el top 10 de las mejores universidades de China y se enfocan mucho en el trabajo tecnológico.
Okay. It's on you, please.
Luego tenemos unas fotos de la biblioteca de la universidad, una biblioteca muy grande, al igual que un estadio de básquetbol. Es un estadio completo con gradas, es un super estadio. Luego tenemos el museo dentro de la universidad, porque la universidad tiene su propio museo, y el centro administrativo de la universidad. Es una universidad muy grande y muy importante en la provincia de Shaanxi y en China.
So we're very, you're welcome to visit our province, our city, and our university, and maybe some Mexico youngers want to go abroad to learn Chinese culture or something, or telecommunications.
Están invitados a visitar la universidad, están invitados a visitar China. ¿Y qué podría ser mejor que hacer una hermandad de universidades para poder
we are very welcome the students.
Que aceptan mucho la idea de esta hermandad de universidades para poder tener a la ENAH y a Xidian más cerca y a poder aprender mucho más de cada uno de nosotros?
You can learn Chinese culture, language, especially telecommunications, AI, and many things about radar, computer. In fact, that's our advantage principle. Okay. Okay. Let's end the introduction.
Y vamos a empezar con la riqueza cultural y folclórica de la provincia de Shaanxi.
Okay. I want to introduce some history. Okay. And as I said, this is the shape, the map of our province. Look at the map. They say the terracotta. It's just like a terracotta. The head, both hands, and it is kneeling. Okay, so the shape, just like a terracotta warrior.
El profesor hace una referencia a la forma de la provincia de Shaanxi con uno de los guerreros de terracota que tienen la misma forma y están muy parecidos.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
Es un dato interesante.
It is just like the musician and my singer. It is a coincidence.
Igual que el flautista Santiago y el doctor Lu Zhaoyang que cantaron, una coincidencia curiosa.
Okay. And you know, the paper cutting is a folklore in our university, very popular. So this paper cutting connect the terracotta warrior and the map of Shaanxi province. Okay?
En Shaanxi, el arte del papel picado es muy popular. Entonces el profesor está mostrando un guerrero de terracota hecho de papel que está en la figura, en una posición que es similar a la provincia de Shaanxi.
And the map, the shape of the map is like a key, you know, the old key. So we think it is a key to open the Chinese culture. To know the province is a key to open the Chinese culture.
En China dicen que la forma de la provincia de Shaanxi es muy similar a una llave, y esta llave es la que abre la puerta para poder entender y apreciar la riqueza cultural de China.
Okay, this is the overview of the Shaanxi province. We have three parts. We separate the whole province into three parts. The north part, central part, and the south part. It's not so clear. In the top of the map, there is a Great Wall. The Great Wall is on the top of the province. The central part is Qinling, mountain, many mountains. So this is the Chinese map. If you slash the whole land, the up left, less people, many resources. Lower, right, many peoples, many higher GDP, many big populations. So our province is just on the slash line. So it is said that in the Chinese history, two groups of people fighting together all the times. One group is people riding the horse, and the other is do the agriculture. It is fighting all the way for a very long time. Shaanxi province is just on the border. So people fighting cross again, cross and cross and cross. So maybe this is the reason why we have so much colorful folklore phenomena or folklore prohibit or something. So here is the object, the reason why we have so many songs and drummers and historical stories. Okay?
El profesor Lu Zhaoyang menciona que la provincia de Shaanxi usualmente la dividen en tres partes, en norte, centro y sur, pero la ubicación de la provincia dentro de China es un lugar muy importante e interesante porque se encuentra en la frontera de dos Chinas muy diferentes, y menciona que esta puede ser la razón por la cual la provincia de Shaanxi es tan rica en cultura y folclore, porque es el punto de encuentro entre varias culturas en el centro de China.
Okay. Let us turn our attention to the ancient times. In 1964, the scientists discovered something in our land. It is the 1 million years before there are some Homo erectus, okay? So there are some fossils discovered there. That's to see for a very long time the land could be life, human, many activities, animals like that. So.
En la provincia de Shaanxi, arqueólogos chinos en 1964 descubrieron los fósiles, los restos de un Homo erectus que le llaman el hombre de Lantian, y es uno de los descubrimientos importantes de arqueológicos de China.
So we call this Lantian Yuanren, Lantian Apple Man. In China, we have two famous Apple Man. One is in Beijing, we call Beijing Yuanren, Beijing Apple Man, and the other is Lantian Yuanren, Lantian, the second one.
Y en China tienen dos Homo erectus encontrados, uno es el Beijing, el hombre de Beijing, y el hombre de Lantian.
Okay, now let's bring a time closer. In 6,000 years before, in Xi'an city, we discovered a site, we call it Banpo site. This is some pictures, and the scientists told us Banpo people, it is a, how to say, matrilineal society. It means the woman powered the country.
Una sociedad
People knows who is his
matriarcal,
mother,
una sociedad
knows his
matriarcal.
father. So it's a special period.
El profesor habla que en 1953 arqueólogos chinos al este de Xi'an encontraron el sitio de Banpo. Este sitio está datado hace 6,000 años, y este sitio fue importante ya que habla de la cerámica musical más temprana encontrada en China, y los estudios que hicieron lograron tener la interpretación de que era una sociedad matriarcal.
So the Banpo people, they know how to make up themselves. They using the shell as a chain, and there is no characters, there is no writing, but they using a simple symbol to represent something. It is the beginning of writing, and they have an imagination. For example, the picture, it is a human's face, but with a fish's body.
Que esta cultura no tenía una escritura desarrollada, sin embargo tenían diferentes símbolos, los cuales tenían algún significado de comunicación.
So maybe the most important things we discovered in this site is we found the earliest music instrument in this site. We call this xun. look at the xun. It is maybe the earliest music instrument in China. So,
En este sitio, como yo lo mencioné antes, fueron encontrados los primeros instrumentos musicales de cerámica encontrados en China, que se llama
xun.
Se llama Xuin.
Xun. The corner is the modern version. This is the original one.
Aquí tenemos
This
una
is the
foto.
modern version.
Una es la versión moderna del instrumento Xun y otro es la versión antigua.
So I can tell you why I can sing with the musician is because I prepare this music by the xun. It's the same, so you can listen.
El profesor menciona que él cantó la canción del flautista Santiago, lo ayudó porque
Sorry.
esa canción
Sorry, there is no sound. You need to change something. Okay.
esta canción la tocan con un shun y el flautista Santiago tiene un instrumento muy similar mesoamericano, un instrumento prehispánico de aquí que es similar al shun chino.
So you can listen again. We just play it. I'm very familiar with the rhythm, so I can sing with it. The song come from 6,000 years before.
Es una canción de 6,000 años.
Okay, we don't need to play complete the music. So sorry. Formar, you need to finish. We have time. Okay. Okay. song from ancient time. Okay, thank you. So next, let's pay attention to a time a little bit closer. In 4,300 years before, we found a new site. It is in the north part of Shaanxi province. We call this Shimao site. Shimao. In this place, we found a place, a castle or a city. It is said that it could be the capital of the first dynasty, Xia dynasty, maybe the capital. So the scientists want to find the capital for long times, but it could be. There are some ceramic eagle and jade or something. So it is. It may be the beginning of Chinese civilization. It is found in our province.
Al norte de la provincia de Shaanxi se encontró el sitio de Shimao,
Yeah.
y este sitio de Shimao está datado hace 4.300 años. Investigadores están checando si esta es la capital de la dinastía Xia. Y en este sitio se encuentra mucha cerámica, encontramos animales y diferentes materiales de cerámica.
Okay. And then we are a little bit closer. In Baoji, it is in the west, the central west of Shaanxi province. We found many bronze. We have a biggest bronze museum in Baoji. There are many bronze, and there are characters on the bronze. Look at it. These two characters means China. So China, 中国, these two characters exist for a very long time, more than 3,000 years. It is in Western Zhou dynasty, about 3,000 years before. Okay. Do you want to translate?
Okay. En el oeste de la provincia de Shaanxi está ubicado el Museo del Bronce, que es el museo más grande en China dedicado a este material, con una colección de más de 10,000 piezas.
And about the character, the earliest Chinese character is not in Shaanxi, but in Henan. There is a character writing on the bone. Look at that picture. On the bone. This is the first Chinese character. And the Pong's character is the second. So, and then the characters goes. I'm not sure. This is the earlier one on the bone. The second on the bones, and then others. The modern character on the right. The people, it means heaven, fire, coal. It is a cooking vessel. So, it is Chinese character.
En esta presentación, el profesor habla sobre los antecedentes de la escritura china, los famosos Hanzi. Entonces, la escritura china, las primeras muestras de esta escritura fueron encontrados en hueso, y después, como cada proceso humano, fue adaptándose, fue mejorando, fue evolucionando. Y aquí tenemos un ejemplo de el progreso de la escritura china y cómo cómo fue cambiando. El primer carácter, viéndolo de la izquierda a la derecha, la izquierda es el primer concepto, el primer Hanzi de la palabra hombre, Ren. Entonces, el de la izquierda es el primer carácter de la palabra hombre, y fue cambiando con el tiempo para convertirse en los caracteres que conocemos ahora como Hanzi. Después de hombre, Tian, cielo, Huo, fuego, Niu, vaca, y este carácter yo no lo identifico, pero tiene que ver con algún instrumento de cocina.
Okay. So the evolutionary history of Chinese character may be a little bit similar to the Maya character. It is a picture. So the system of our character is picture, not the alphabet structure. So.
Que las bases de la escritura china son imágenes, se podría decir, son dibujos que con el tiempo fueron cambiando. Y esta escritura tiene una historia de más de 3,000 años.
Okay. In the history, in Chinese history, we have about 400 empire or 400 kings. And in those kings, there are 80 kings buried in our province. And in these 80 kings, there are 40 we know who they are and where it buried. And the other 40 we know it buried in our province, but we don't know where it is buried. Maybe the most in the other, compared with the other province, we are in our province buried the most kings.
Una civilización tan milenaria como China, obviamente va a tener muchísimos emperadores, muchísimos reyes, pero el profesor menciona que en la provincia de Shaanxi están las tumbas y están enterrados 80 de esos grandes emperadores chinos. Y no solo están ahí, sino que están muy bien ubicados debido a que como hay información, hay escritos que nos dicen su ubicación exacta, que todavía se pueden entender de hace 2000 años, entonces tienen esa información en la provincia de Shaanxi.
Okay, this is two examples. This one is Western Han Dynasty, 11 emperors buried on the north of the city. This is the city, Xi'an city, in the north, close to the river. 11 emperors buried here. And in Tang Dynasty, it's the Xi'an city, we have 80 emperors buried there. So many kings buried there, so we have many cultural relics, okay?
Un quinto de todos los emperadores de toda China están en la provincia de Shaanxi. Y tienen 11 emperadores de la dinastía Han del oeste y 18 emperadores de la dinastía Tang.
Here is some examples. The first one is Qin Shi Huang, okay? The first empire unique the whole China. This one. And this is Qianling, the first, maybe the only one woman kings. Wu Zetian, she buried here. Qianling. This is Yangling and Maoling, the famous kings buried.
Y nos enseña diferentes mausoleos ubicados en la provincia de Shaanxi, uno de los más importantes siendo el mausoleo del primer emperador Qin Shi Huang, donde también se encuentran los guerreros de terracota que eternamente cuidan a su rey.
Okay, let's end the history. Now we can look at the various forms of human life. And in Shaanxi province, the main food is wheat, wheat. So we eat wheat every day. We have different food about wheat.
Uno de los granos principales de la provincia de Shaanxi es el trigo y les encanta comer trigo, todo tipo de panes.
We have bread, steamed bread. We have noodles like that.
Fideos, pan.
We have different kinds of noodles, maybe hundreds of noodles. So you can expect, okay?
Tienen
So,
cientos de diferentes tipos de fideos, cada uno de texturas, de formas y experiencias diferentes, cada uno de ellos.
and maybe every Shaanxi people could do a very simple form of noodle. We call this a trousers belt like noodles. Is this width, this longer.
Es
Very
muy-
simple to do.
Es muy común que las personas de la provincia de Shaanxi, como están tan apegados a los fideos, la mayoría sabe hacer sus propios fideos y es un fideo muy popular que tiene forma de cinturón, entonces le llaman el fideo del cinturón.
And about the steamed bread, we have different kind of steamed bread. The people, usually women, they do these things as a gift when they celebrate something. So there are many imaginary animals or deformable animals. It's
Y-
bread, it's gift, it's culture, okay?
Es muy popular el pan hervido, que lo usan para diferentes tipos de celebraciones y festivales, y a este pan lo van adornando dependiendo de la festividad que es.
It is intangible cultural heritage, okay?
Una riqueza del patrimonio intangible de China, de la provincia de Shaanxi.
About the housing, in Shaanxi province, this is the main housing. The main house, it is constructed like this way. But we have another form, a half housing, just this way. Look at the picture. We call this half of housing.
Esa es una forma de construcción de viviendas específico de la provincia de Shaanxi. Le llaman casa a la mitad o mitad de casa. Como pueden ver en la imagen a la derecha, está en el fondo es un tipo de casa normal y a los lados, si ven, es una casa como partida en dos, donde ¿cómo puedo explicar? Los techos, si los cambian de lugar y los pegan, pues sería una casa, solo que su forma de construir es partiéndolo en dos. Y esto es para poder utilizar y tener el mayor aprovechamiento del recurso. Entonces la casa...
Here I mean the traditional housing. You cannot find this housing in the modern Xi'an city now. It is in traditional or in countryside.
Es un tipo de casa tradicional, antigua.
The reason is to save wood. The main house they should be using wood like this, and the extra, the half housing, we don't using a big wood. Just this thing is okay. Okay, so it is energy saving. And the other form of traditional housing is we call this yaodong. It is cave housing. It is simple, and you just dig a hole, and that's okay. So it is in north part of Shaanxi province.
Y este tipo de viviendas, que son casas construidas dentro de cuevas, muy similar a lo que tenemos en el norte del país con las casas grandes,
Okay.
que el funcionamiento en el verano están frescas y no son tanto calor, y en el invierno son cálidas.
This is the traditional wedding ceremony. So, in this ceremony, the main color is red. We Chinese think the red color is a lucky color, fortune color, and good color. But look at this. There are many gifts in the ceremony, and every gift has its own special meaning. And a special thing is, in this ceremony, the parents of bride and bridegroom, they are all to be make up ugly, not beautiful, but ugly. There are some print on their face, but they are happy, they are very happy. So that's the behavior.
Aquí menciono unas prácticas culturales que se hacen en las bodas, especialmente en la provincia de Shaanxi. El color rojo es muy importante en la civilización china, significa buena suerte, riqueza, alegría, todo lo que es bueno. Y menciona que en las bodas, usualmente los padres del novio se pintan la cara, se vuelven feos, se ponen como un tipo de maquillaje que los haga feos, que los haga chistosos, para aceptar a la novia que va a ser parte de la familia, porque en China los padres tienen un nivel muy importante en la sociedad. Entonces me mencionó el profesor que esto lo hacen como para que no llegue tan estresada a su nueva familia, que se pueda reír, que se sienta más cómoda en este nuevo ambiente.
He gave you a reason about why they do that? I'm not sure. Okay? Okay. A good student?
And how the
Okay. This is the traditional funerals when we bury parents or grandparents. In these funerals, if their parents died without illness, or it's elder, more than 80 or 90s, the burial could be a ceremony. People don't feel sad, but feel happy because they died without illness, okay? So maybe they celebrate something, they smile, they play music, even performance. So that's the Chinese philosophy.
Menciona que en los funerales tradicionales en China, usualmente si la persona muere de forma natural y ya de una edad muy avanzada, no solo es un evento triste por la pérdida de la vida, sino que es una celebración de la vida donde se tocan diferentes canciones, diferentes tipos de música, porque en esta cosmología es el fin de su ciclo de vida y no tiene que ser algo triste porque concluyó su vida y falleció sin ningún accidente, sin ninguna enfermedad, falleció de forma natural.
So it may we have sadness, but have happiness maybe. So we celebrate the New Year in Shaanxi province. In the north part of Shaanxi province, in the Spring Festival, the most important festival in China, they dancing, many dancing. And this dancing are colorful and powerful. And the dancer is general people just like you and me. They are not professional. They amuse themselves. So, okay.
Las celebraciones del Año Nuevo Chino, donde festejan este nuevo año que viene con música, con bailes, y que cada baile tiene su atuendo, su uniforme especial.
Okay, folk dance, okay. In the central part of Shaanxi province, we celebrate the festival, the Spring Festival, using this parade. The people are rows. They could be the story, the rows from the story, okay?
Que tienen un evento en el centro de la provincia de Shaanxi llamado Shehuo. Es un tipo de marcha, una festividad donde las personas se visten como personajes históricos de la historia de China.
And the special thing is, look at the corner, this one. It's terrible, okay? It's a terrible parade. It's made of very horrible. It tells stories also to tell the children, don't do bad, okay? If you do bad things, that's the way to punish you. So,
estas personificaciones no solo son para héroes o emperadores, sino también para criminales y gente mala. Entonces por eso muestran este tipo de villanos en las historias y cuál fue su conclusión, cómo fallecieron o cómo fueron muertos.
it is a performance, okay? It's not a real thing, okay? So we know it is a performance.
Quiero que haga un hincapié muy grande de que no es de verdad, ¿eh?
In the south part of Shaanxi province, we have the similar things, okay? Just like that, they do the many dancing or something, okay?
Al igual que diferentes tipos de bailes folclóricos y tradicionales de la provincia de Shaanxi, como el que estamos viendo en pantalla, que es el baile puede ser el barco y el remo, que es una festividad importante.
Okay, let's begin to the folk song and the drama in Shaanxi province. The most famous thing, the folk song is Northern Shaanxi folk song. We call this. It's very famous in China, and it is very, very.
Esa parte de la conferencia es la riqueza del arte y la música folclórica de la provincia de Shaanxi.
And I will give you some examples about the folk song and drummers, folk songs Shaanxi province, the north part, okay?
El profesor va a presentar 3 ejemplos de diferentes canciones, de diferentes modos de música folclórica en la provincia de Shaanxi.
So this is the word of the song. This is the English version. I will play it.
Están las letras en los caracteres de Shaanxi y luego el significado en inglés. Estas son canciones de amor. Esta es una canción de amor.
Most of the folk songs are about lover songs, okay?
Muchas de las canciones son canciones románticas y estas son canciones muy antiguas también. 好。
Okay, so I give you the second example.
Y continuamos con otro tipo de canción. Esta está un poquito, yo creo que más modernificada.
Okay, okay,
可以可以。
okay. Oh, sorry. Look at the background. The background is cave housing. The cave housing in north part of Shaanxi province. The background.
Que en el fondo se puede ver una de las casas de cueva, como los vimos en el ejemplo. Y esa es la música popular de la provincia de Shaanxi.
The last one. This is a real couple.
Estas son canciones de amor cantadas por parejas y esa es la intención de la melodía, que dos parejas canten juntas.
Okay, thank you. It's the folk song in Shaanxi province. I think maybe the most famous folk song in the whole China. Okay?
Son canciones muy populares en China, las de la provincia de Shaanxi.
Another, this is storytelling, a special thing. There's storytelling. It is also in the north part of Shaanxi province.
Tiene una forma peculiar en la provincia de Shaanxi para contar relatos y contar historias de la provincia y de su gente.
The folk song is just several minutes, but the storytelling could be long, could be several days or even months. It is a special performance.
Es un tipo de espectáculo que puede durar de 1 a 2 minutos a varias horas.
Look at the picture. The performance, the actors, they control several instruments, at least 3 or 5.
Es un tipo de arte musical donde una persona toca varios instrumentos al mismo tiempo, al igual que canta para contar un relato.
There are instruments here, and their knee, and even foot. So they do this like that.
Tienen instrumentos tanto en las manos como en las piernas para que en su movimiento, mientras tocan el instrumento principal, crean diferentes sonidos.
It could be one people or two, one actor or two.
Puede ser de una persona a 2.
Give an example.
Y tenemos aquí el ejemplo de uno de estos músicos. La canción habla sobre el dinero.
Listen to the rhythm. It is played by his foot.
话你们都别说谁他一样接，开的好车还要求你照样吃饭。做高官享福楼的天天上班，汽车的前程全夜夜置换，三正海里天天吃你一副多难，那荣华的富贵都是过往云烟。这也是我的板凳，你们多保重。咱们陕北的说书句句是贴人心，我别的不好说的来，你们多担着车。有时说了半天没记下你，枉费我的心。
This is the only example for storytelling. And now we come to opera. You know, opera. We have Qin Qiang. It means Qin opera. Maybe the eldest opera in China. It has 3,000 years history.
Y aquí avanzamos a las muy famosas óperas de Qin, que son más antiguas que las más famosas óperas de Beijing. Este tipo de arte es
maybe the most famous opera is Beijing opera, but Beijing opera, its history is 250 years. The Qing opera is 3,000 years. Many things from Beijing opera is come from Qing opera. Okay.
Como lo mencioné antes, la ópera de Qin es mucho más antigua que la ópera de Beijing. La ópera de Beijing tiene algunos 250 años y la ópera de Qin tiene alrededor de 3,000 años. Es un tipo de arte escenográfico con diferentes tipos de cantos, músicos y actuaciones.
Okay, this is the instrument, and the instrument, many kinds of instruments.
Estos son los instrumentos principales que se tocan durante las óperas de Qin.
The music of Qing opera is very special. So here I give you 2 examples. One is cheerful music, happiness, and another is sorrow music.
La música de las óperas de Qin se componen de melodías muy únicas y muy especiales para este tipo de eventos y pueden transmitir diferentes emociones y significados. Son melodías muy sentimentales. Esta es una melodía alegre. pero a canciones melancólicas.
It should be clear on the border.
Este tipo de canciones también se tocan en funerales.
So in this burial activity, the color is white, white. In the wedding ceremony, the color is red. It should be like that.
Los colores que se tienen que usar en las bodas de China son rojo y en los funerales blanco.
The clothing of Qing opera is colorful, really colorful, and similar to Beijing opera.
Los trajes y disfraces que se utilizan en la ópera de Qing son muy coloridos y muy llamativos.
This is the dialogue. The word, the dialogue is in Shaanxi accent, especially the central Shaanxi accent.
La ópera de Qing cuenta historias y combina la literatura de la dinastía Han y la dinastía Tang para crear y contar este tipo de cuentos o historias con el uso del teatro, la música, las actuaciones.
Okay.
Y ese es el encanto de la ópera Qing.
So I give you two examples.
Y hay dos ejemplos de cómo son las óperas de Qing. Y vamos a empezar con una que habla sobre el emperador Qin Shi Huang, que es el primer emperador de China, de la dinastía Qing.
This is the second example, okay? This is Qin Shi Huang. Okay?
啊！
So we terminate the.
Esa es
this
una personificación del emperador Qin Shi Huang, un poquito largo, por lo que continuaremos con con la otra ópera de Qin.
Okay, the last opera. Okay.
Bueno, continuaremos con el punto final, que serían las óperas de Lao y
Yeah.
los juegos de sombra de la
And Lao
provincia de
opera,
Shaanxi.
Yeah. This is the other famous opera in local Shaanxi. It is a performance by a so-called shadow play. This is a special performance.
Este tipo de obra es muy especial porque se utilizan las sombras de figuras para crear historias.
This is the form they performed. Look at the picture. The actors, they handle a leather rose to perform, and there is a light give the shadow, so the audience could. Okay.
Con figuras, un tipo de títeres. Estos títeres son hechos de piel de animal, y música e iluminación. Se hacen las sombras para crear este tipo de obras, de obras de teatro, de presentaciones que, al igual que las óperas de Qin, cuentan historias de generales, de emperadores de la literatura china.
They said maybe it's the original form of modern movie or film or television, so it is using light. It's using light too.
Así que es el antecedente de una animación o una película.
It is performed not by a human, but by a leather rose. Okay, so itself is an art. It's a hand art.
Que la ópera es este juego de sombras. En sí es un arte. Todo lo que conlleva crear un espectáculo de esta forma es todo un arte. Es un tesoro.
Okay, so this is their division of work in Lao opera. And behind the screen, there are 4 or 6 men. 2 of them are doing the performance.
Y en la imagen tenemos una división de cómo se hace el trabajo para tener un espectáculo de estos. Hay personas encargadas de mover a los personajes, hay músicos, hay personas encargadas de los diálogos que estos personajes utilizan y hablan.
The others playing the instrument or singer or speaking or tell stories. These 5 or 6 men control all the things. It could be a very complete opera for several hours. Okay, this is the most famous actors.
Y esas dos personas son unos de los actores, de los artistas más famosos e importantes de la ópera de Lao.
Okay, I give you an example.
Y aquí vamos a ver un ejemplo de cómo es este tipo de arte visual en escena.
A very short example.
Van a representar una batalla entre 2 generales.
It is like a modern rock music. Okay, this is the last example of law opera. I just said that law opera could be performed on the stage and also using the shadow play. So it is these two forms, it is okay, it's running okay. So.
Y ese es el último ejemplo que el doctor Lu Zhaoyang tiene de la ópera de sombras, el Lao.
Okay, this is the final example and the final of my speech.
Sí, también no necesariamente para contar estas historias se necesita este juego de sombras. También, como vemos en el video, artistas se pueden presentar y contar estas historias sin necesidad de las sombras.
It's a rap.
Y con eso concluimos la presentación del doctor Lu
Thank you for
Zhaoyang.
listening. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. A continuación, ya hemos aprendido, hemos escuchado bastante sobre la música folclórica de China. Sin embargo, estamos en México y el flautista Santiago nos va a tocar música mesoamericana con instrumentos prehispánicos para que nuestros invitados puedan aprender también cómo era la música en esta parte del mundo.
Okay. 很好，谢谢，谢谢。
Sí. Ok, pues continuando con este encuentro de esas grandes culturas, vimos todo lo bonito, todo lo precioso que es la cultura china y bueno, en especial de la ciudad de Xi'an. Y bueno, también los instrumentos. Algo que me gusta de China es de que así como es tan grande el territorio, pues también tiene muchísimos instrumentos musicales y bueno, también en todo lo que es de la cultura mesoamericana, pues tenemos una gran variedad de instrumentos, muy raros también, muy exóticos, y voy a tocar un track que nos lleva a este ambiente prehispánico, en donde se inicia con esta trompeta maya. Tiene diferentes nombres a lo largo de toda la región de Mesoamérica, pero es conocido como humpback o trompeta maya, y que tiene su similitud con el didgeridoo australiano y otras trompetas que hay, por ejemplo, también en Tíbet, que también hay en China, y se cree que es la voz de la tierra, y con el cual también se creó todo el universo dentro de la cosmología prehispánica. Y después bueno, hay un fragmento en el Popol Vuh en donde se habla que el hombre fue creado con semillas, sobre todo con el maíz, y hay una escena musical que empiezan a sonar semillas y empiezo a aumentar con esta ocarina triple, con esa flauta triple, en un sonido muy ok. Y después viene un fragmento con una ambientación de la naturaleza. Después de que el hombre fue creado, se ven todos los animalitos, que tenemos la rana, el búho, pájaros, águilas, y después todos estos se convierten en lo que son algunas deidades dentro de la cosmología prehispánica, como es el jaguar, como es la serpiente, y una que es muy importante, que es el dios de la muerte. Vamos a escuchar también el sonido, y de esta que es también muy parecida a la que comentaba el maestro, que es parecida al Shun, pero tiene sus principios también en Mesoamérica. Y bueno, pues vamos a disfrutar de él.
Chihuelompewa, Ticuicanik, Huilla, Maok Xoconzotzona Moxochihuehue, Maik Xiquimahuiltia, Intepilhuan, Incuauti, Inoceloti, Huelachic, Tiquitotoanehuia, Oguaya, Oguaya. Comienza el cantor, talle tu tambor florido, con él deleita a los príncipes, los águilas y los tigres. Solo por un breve tiempo estamos prestados unos a otros. Oguaya, Oguaya.
Bueno, entraremos en un receso de 15 minutos para presentar al próximo maestro, el profesor Ding Li, que va a hablar sobre antropología y arqueología. 说下次 event 在西点。
We could sing other song, you know, just sing other song.
Vicky. Y ahorita falta una otra. I will be back. I will give this to Arroyo Laushi. Kong. Lock. Buen viento. Es que bueno para el calor de la embajada. Era para eso. Ahorita me dio para catafixia. No, lo regaló. Success. Good work. 谢谢老师。老师你好，
你好，
听到我的说话吗？
能听见，能听见。
很好，很好。OK， 等一下，等一下。
你现在能看见我吗？
可以，可以。
哦，能看见是吧？
看到了，看到了。
行。
OK。老师，老师，
来，来，大家，
我听你，我听你，听我吗？
来，可以了。
可以。Probando. Una pregunta a los medios. ¿Está apagada la bocina? ¿Esta bocina está apagada? ¿No?
I can
que voy a
No,
comprobar.
let me, I can say, let me speak English or Chinese.
英语，请说英语，请用英语聊天。
Okay, okay,
我
okay.
等一下，
It's time for me to make a speech.
对，但是
OK
等一下，
我现在开始了吗？
等老师，I'm fixing audio。给。No, es que no está funcionando la bocina. Para.
蔡佳，
我在老师，没有问题。I am。
我现在开始了吗？
罗兰，嘎嚓，来这儿。等一下，老师，等一下。
好。你回头在方便的时候，你帮我take a picture，OK？OK？
Le puedo mover el audio para que sea. Ah, ok, creo que ya sé cómo hacer. Tiene que ser. Ok, ya. 老师，
蔡佳。
Creo que ya está configurado, pero no sé. Se ha de subir
Is
el
it time for
volumen.
me? That's okay?
Microphone.
What's the matter, 蔡佳？
现在可以，老师。
What's the voice? What's the sound?
请说。
Hello? Hello, 蔡佳。Can you hear me? Hello?
老师，
Hello, 蔡佳。
我在。听
现在
到我的
可以了吗？
听到我的说话吗？
能听见，我能听见，正常的。
很好，很好。所以都很好，现在可以。
可以了吗？
可以开始。
等。
1 sec.
对，现在可以开始。
Okay.
谢谢你，老师。
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to participate in the forum in the seminar conference, okay, held by Mexican Historical Institute. My topic is about the values, missions, tactics of the archaeology-based anthropology in face of the current changes of the world. My name is James Li, Li Ding in China. 能听见吗？蔡佳？
对，没有问题，没有问题。
行，你注意哈，回头你帮我找几张照片、图片 （photo pictures），OK？
明白了。
行，and you can make I can say aware of me，也可以提醒我，时间到了就提醒我，好吧？
好。
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my contents for my topic, for my seminar, the conference, is as follows. Number one, the preface. The world of politics is more and more overwhelming. Two, anthropology, the values. Three, facing the acute changes. anthropology's missions. The second one, anthropology of China, history and time being. Next one, in pursuit, anthropology's response, attitude, and actions. And the last one, conclusion, the world is in need of political anthropology. In my opinion, I think anthropology is a learning by which the world of mankind study human itself in awareness and with purposes, focusing on human's existence, the nature, the essence of civilizations, disclosing what man is as himself. Preface. We are ascending and aspiring to a so-called modern civilization. We have been led and driven to such a learning point of crossroads when and where we are encountered with problems of existence and forced to face crises, seen and unseen, that then endanger our subsistence and survival as a whole. It must be accepted that the problems and the crises can all be attributed to idea, belief, ambition, mode of action, which are all of value, and categorized into legitimacy, rationality, appropriateness, also come down to culture. It's clear that the mankind is more and more entangled with puzzles such as good and evil, friendly and hostile, right and wrong, beautiful and ugly, etc., all of which boil down to the justice-based suitability or properties as of the golden mean in Confucianism in light of the degree in dialectics. We also believe that nearly all of us are more and more enslaved by politics made by mankind itself, in which either of political culture or political system or political machine proves to be one of the coercive forces. As alone, within the human society of contemporary times, the economy anyway is the base, the culture generally is the core, while the politics is most powerful, that is overriding and dictating all around. As acquainted with increasing accumulation of political civilization, politics grows more and more overwhelming to such an extent that the existence of mankind is really predominated by politics, and that we cannot but look closely into human's existence in view of politics. For existence of mankind is obviously featured with politics as well as substance of material and ideology of culture. Anthropology is one of the disciplines to study human's existence, studying up to the historical evolution of mankind's existence summoned by the times. Anthropology is being supposed to set up a new branch, the political anthropology. The values, missions, tactics of the archaeology-based anthropology in face of the great world changes of the present times discusses something about anthropology relating how to respond to the times and how to react to the politicization of human existence. In hope to help the theoretical research of anthropology to make more of great devotion to modernization of human being, in pursuit to improve systematically the human nature of modernity and upgrade completely the modern civilization. Second one, what's anthropology as learnings, values, and purposes? To study the humankind and the culture, etc. to discover the code of the human civilization, to disclose the nature of the humankind's existence in pursuit of the better development of humankind, in order to stimulate the modernization of human being, both discovery of the others by findings and examination in retrospection of myself. Role and importance. As one of the most significant disciplines, anthropology talks the world into belief with evidences, both of the past and the present, that every race and nation on the earth are created equal, that the world is made up of every person, cohort, and organization of mankind. Furtherly, that it is collection of human beings that builds up the fate community for each of them, where anybody, any nation, any country are not only mutually equal, but also mutually conditional. And it is an exceptional discipline full of advantages to such an extent that it can prompt mankind by fact and science to deny discrimination and equally respect each other, to fill the gaps and enjoy mutual interest. It fully believes that anthropology is destined to make special devotion to the world's peace and common development, the mankind's civilization and progress. Anthropology as a cluster of disciplines. As named, anthropology takes mankind as an integral species in its consideration, with all the ways in view in light of the history, reality, future integration. Categories can be generally made according to the contents as follows: cultural anthropology, or ethnology; physical anthropology; based archaeology, anthropology; anthropology of language, and so on, etc. Means and methods. Archaeology proves to be the basis and reliance of anthropology. Based upon archaeology, anthropology seems to overwhelmingly to look backward and attach importance to study of the civilization in the past. Also, it is supposed and needs to pay attention to the future as well as the present. Owing to the orientation of purpose, anthropology needs to adopt methods such as field survey, runic analysis, comparison, based on cultural relativism, vision, generalization based on comprehensive culture, etc. Conception of history and holism, means of observation and experience, dialectical thinking, etc., are all significant for anthropology. Anthropology, as well as archaeology, is the tunnel through which we know the ancients. As said by Li Shiming, the Tang Taizong, the emperor of Tang Dynasty in China, look back upon the ancient times and vicissitudes can be anticipated. Maybe this is the value and significance of anthropology and archaeology. Anthropology and the totem, the logo, the badge. Totem means imitation and worship, usually of something magical in the nature and the human itself, standing for some kinds of the dreams and the pursuits. Nearly all the people have their own dreams and allure, and the totems are designed to make some extent of psychological satisfaction, or are considered as symbol for special established tenets. Most of these organizations, formal or informal, even some political institutions, choose some totems and apply them to their political activities. Tattoos and logos are both categorized into totem. For both of them are some certain of objectivation of something specially significant for identification in particular. Anthropology as one of the disciplines which are about mankind itself, and which are inclined to disclose something essential of human existence. For example, what's the nature of mankind on Earth? What features do human civilizations have? And how to understand the diversity and the homogeneity of the various civilizations, etc. It must be accepted that the modern man makes discoveries of totems and knows something about the ancients by means of archaeology. And it's justifiable believe that anthropology should not neglect any thread of spiders and the trail of horses, and should attach importance to archaeology with attention to totems and tattoos and logos, etc. Ought not to let slip or leave out anything that is helpful for examination of man's existence and nature. Development and tendencies. As known, anthropology was born and took shape first in the Western society. That was in the middle of 19th century, and in 1863, when the Anthropology Association of London was set up. Later on, the year of 1897 saw the Washington Association of Anthropology founded. As a discipline, the University of Vermont began to offer the course of anthropology in 1985. Then, in the report of 1901 of the State-run Museum of American Anthropology, was categorized into physical anthropology and cultural anthropology. Till today, the anthropology has already made a big span on the way to a big cluster of disciplines. The times always marches forward. The world of mankind advances along all the way, and the civilization still proceeds its course. In response, and in order to keep adaptable to mankind's evolution, anthropology also forges ahead. Photography and visual anthropology, educational anthropology, with increasing association of politics with the present existence and the coming fate of the mankind. Anthropology now needs emergence to be ready for political anthropology as a new member to step in the big family of anthropology. A brief summary for this chapter. Every decade has its own anthropology. Anthropology of each decade holds responsibility to solve each decade's questions and problems. Anthropology has no boundary of countries, and each country's anthropology ought to have in view the whole world of mankind with attention, focusing on its own nation. Anthropology of the 21st century is supposed to be dedicated and devoted to solution to the 21st century's questions and problems, so that the overall civilization of the whole world could be promoted and advanced. Every nation has its own anthropology. Each nation's anthropology is supposed to hold reliable first of all to solve its nation's questions and problems in lofty pursuit of the world civilization. For we are one of the soul fate communities of human beings. For that, cooperation and communication should be pursued and adopted among each country's anthropology all over the world. Briefly speaking, anthropology is not only born but also determined to disclose and discover the mankind's nature through analysis of man's various existence by means of such techniques and disciplines as archaeology, etc. Next one, world's acute changes, anthropology's missions. Marx ever said, that the nature of mankind is aggregated and composed by all the social relations. Accordingly, it is social benefit that supports man to set up his social relations in all the ways and then make his nature as mankind. Accurately speaking, as mankind, anybody is supposed not only to be equipped with sociable capability, but also to enlarge and extend his involvement in the society by full advantage of the potential capability. So, there are at least three factors. That's to say, the capability of social benefit, the social relations in reality, the participation as active and or involvement as passive, not make up the mankind's nature. Here is a formula. Mankind's nature equals the capability or social benefit plus participation or involvement plus the societal relations in reality. Marx said, man's nature is a summation of all the social relations, or man's nature is made up of all the social relations. Nowadays, the world undergoes growing uncertainties and destabilizing factors. Global economic growth lacks energy. The gap between rich and poor continues to widen. Hotspot issues arise often in some regions, and unconventional security threats like terrorism, cyber insecurity, major infectious diseases, and climate change continue to spread. As human beings, we have many challenges in common and have to face. To our attention, mutual trust of politics seems to be fragile, both internationally and domestically. It says some bottlenecks against peace and development, some kinds of barriers against cooperation and communication, irrational restriction and limitation against interactions and correction of goodness. As said in the political report of 20th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party, situations of the world change, the times change, the histories change, are on the way to numerage in unprecedented way. On one hand, as a historic tidal current, the peace, the development, the cooperation, and the win-win rationale cannot be held back, which presupposes the bright future on basis of the whole world's willingness and the overall trend. On the other hand, hegemonic pursuit and action such as bullying, exhortation, zero-sum game proves to be arrogantly emboldened, resulting in rise to the deficit of peace and development and security and governance. With such a challenge unseen before, the whole world of mankind marches forward at the crossroads once again, and it's up to all the people of every country to make their own choice. Penetration of politics into the present world. Domestically, political force of cohesion and separation all over the world appears to be consolidated in China. For example, national unification is being strengthened under leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, while in other countries there are some tendencies of separation among ethnics, races, or cohorts as a result of benefit-based conflicts originated from political policies at the levels either of the central government or the lower. And the conflicts turn up to be such incidents as gun shoots, murders, bribes, mutual dismantles, etc. More serious coups are witnessed in some countries as running horse nattings, and the political regimes are frequently changed. Some governments state negligent of the plague and attach no attention to sufferings of the people. Internationally or regionally, coexistence is witnessed of political polarization with unilateralism and hegemonism, also of cry for peace with strict policy and action of world police, etc., etc. Man's participation and involvement into the political world. Usually, the ruling class in power in a security is the force to initiate the politics, running the state machinery through designing and setting up the political systems, and then making policies on and on. As the dominant of one country, the ruling class makes the ruled society as a whole involved in the political pattern, and nearly any one of the common people is destined to be one of the components affiliated to the state machinery. Internationally, the ruling regimes of the powerful countries as well as the United Nations implement their impact on and furtherly make manipulations of the world or the regions. As a result, all the world are involved in the global politics. Obviously, the present international communities turns up as one big scene of politics woven by the political manipulation, political participation, and the political involvement all over the world. Complexity of the politics-based social relations. The complicated situations of the present world prove to be a mixture in which economy, politics, culture interplay and make the most drastic changes of the 100 years. Whether the world peace and development, or the opposition and conflict and even the wars, or the dialogue and the communication, they are rooted from the relationship of benefit. Relationship of benefit boils down to that of material, and in essence comes down to homogeneity of the human nature. Generally accepted, politics, both domestic and the world, has always been playing roles of the starter, the regulator, the adjuster in the infrastructure of the world relations. It's justified that politics is something in the deepest layer of the world changes and at the core of human nature and of the essence of existence. A brief summary for this chapter. Aristotle ever said that the man is created as a political animal, and it logically follows that not only human existence, but also its nature are the product of man's activities. As Sage Kong, the Confucian or Kongzi, in I can say the spring autumn times periods of China, ancient China, ever said, politics means to be of justice, and it logically follows that all the political activities of mankind are oriented towards what we call justice. Accordingly, all the tremendous changes of the contemporary era are the inevitable outcome of the human political practice, which appear to be the present form of human political civilization. Judged from the facts, the politicus is playing the role of air and infiltrating through all the lives and actions of mankind. In response to the current political setup, anthropology is supposed to adopt policies incompatible with the present decade of changes. It's Aristotle's sayings, man is born as animal of politics. And Kongzi, the Confucian sayings, politics is the justice or upright. Now, next one, the anthropology of China. The Chinese anthropology really began its course as an effort to examine human self in the early days, but actually started its own way to be self itself as discipline of learning in 1920s. As usual, the anthropology of China is also destined to its own past, the present, the future. For its future, the Chinese anthropology will gain the Chinese face as predicted by Maurice Friedman in 1962. The major stages of the Chinese anthropology embodied before 1928, founded during 1928 through 1937, advancing during 1938 through 1949, in developing recovery before 1966, inflicted seriously during 1966 through 1978, recovery second more and toward prosperity since 1978. Wu Wenzhao, the father of Chinese anthropology, the first man to advocate the China orientation of anthropology in efforts to build up the Chinese theoretical system of the native anthropology. Also, the important founder of the sociology, ethnology, cultural anthropology of China. Wu Zhelin associated sociology with ethnology and anthropology, studying social phenomena in an interdisciplinary way. Fei Xiaotong, one of the founders of sociology and anthropology, pushing anthropology forward in stride way from study of barbarians to survey of the civilized society, and opening up such a way that someone studies the societal culture of its own nation. Wu Wenzhao, Fei Xiaotong, Lin Yaohua, etc., adopted the Western theories and studied the Chinese society with belief in diversity of civilization. It's Cai Yuanpei, whoever brought in anthropology by his own ethnology. That is just a brief introduction of the founders of the Chinese anthropology. The historic events of importance since 1980. The Department of Anthropology was set up in some universities. The anthropology graduates of master and doctor returned from overseas and joined in the buildings of anthropology as discipline. Education of anthropology at levels of master and doctor has been progressing rapidly from one university in 1981 to 10 and 30 in 2017, with a wide range of majors such as the social anthropology, educational anthropology, applied anthropology, medical anthropology, travel anthropology, cognition anthropology, science and technology, anthropology, ethnography abroad, and the theory and means of anthropology, etc. means. Associations of anthropology were founded one after another, such as the National Research Association of Chinese Ethnics and Anthropology was founded in 2007, growing to be NPO with a broad representation, owning 36 professional committees in large disciplines range of anthropology in such fields as economy, urbanity, biology, nor religion, etc., whose annual session of 2018 was held in Xi'an, Shaanxi province, focusing on consolidating the consciousness of Chinese nation, Chinese Volksgemeinschaft, missions and assumption of the Chinese anthropology, with 22 seminars and more than 500 participants from 120 universities and research institutes. The Ethnology Association of China was founded in 1980 in the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. The Anthropology Association of China was founded in 1981 in Xiamen University. The Southwest Research Association of Ethics was founded in Kunming, featured with its School of the Southwest. The Summit Forum of Anthropology, a folk organization, it initiated in early 2002 by the Department of Anthropology, affiliated to a good number of organizations. For example, Beijing University, the People's University, the National Sun Yat-sen University, Xiamen University, Guangxi University for Nationalities, the Chinese Universities of Hong Kong, Macau University, Donghua University in Taiwan, and so on. Special attention was paid to ethnology as a category of anthropology, and research of the ethnic minority was being proceeded with the following items: the traditional culture of the minority nationalities. Scholars of anthropology revisited and resurveyed the recorded villages. Importance is attached to issues about the minority groups of new situations and new problems, such as migration of the Chinese ethnic minorities, modernization of the Tibetan, the West development and the relationship of the ethnic minorities, reforming the opening, constructing of the better life society, modernization and globalization, social transformation and social order, consumption and belongings, social structure and stratification. Innovations of anthropology in China have been made. For example, the subject anthropology was put forth by Professor Chen Binggong, filling two vacancies by some new ideas of both the specific integral human being and the universal class group, etc. Since the CPC held its 18th National Congress in 2012, the General Secretary Xi Jinping put forward a series of new ideas and new thoughts and new strategies and new advocations, which are embodied with the spirit of anthropology. For example, the centralization of the people, the one belt and one road, the accurate poverty alleviation, the community of the human fate. Furthermore, the new development philosophy of innovation, coordination, green, open, share, etc. About the development of anthropology, some new ideas are worthy of attention. The aim is to improve the people's life. It needs the people to participate. The people are supposed to be empowered. Sustainability is needed. Humans is put above all. The anthropology began to face the world. The 16th World Conference of the International Federation of Anthropology and Ethnology was held in Kunming as the landmark for the Chinese anthropology, focusing on human development and the diversities of the culture, with the participants of 5,000 or so from 116 countries and regions. It's easily seen that the present anthropology of China has already made lots of great achievements in such fields as economy, politics, culture, education, the ethnic group, medical population, the aging, the overseas ethnography, and even in Confucian colleges abroad, aid to foreign countries, and so on. Also, the Chinese anthropology has expanded into fields relating to some issues such as the societal forms, family and marriage, the ethnic group, modernization, diversity of culture, the intangible cultural heritage, etc. Furthermore, with the archaeological excavations being accelerated, the Chinese anthropology has been widening its way to discover and examine the civilization of ancient China. The present anthropology of China has been at the plight out of the first naval disciplines for a long time, which is compatible with its importance as discipline independent. Future of the Chinese anthropology. Attention is supposed to be paid to such territories as the local anthropology of Han nationality, the social research abroad, the Chinese ethnography, etc. The Chinese anthropology in the coming future should fix its eyes upon the new missions, the new tasks, and the new practice. Frankly speaking, it is supposed to stay adapted to the comprehensive rural civilization and the Chinese modernization. The Chinese anthropology in the coming days ought to put in effect the new ideas of the development, the new sorts of the development of the people's concentration, and ought to serve the cause of humans all the way improvement. Brief summary for this chapter. Anthropology of the present China takes its steps with the times, making itself adapted to the process of modernization. Anthropology nowadays proceeds its way in high consistence with the processes of the national progress, the country's development. The Chinese anthropology respects, accepts, obeys the CCP's leadership, ready to make services to the causes of the Chinese Revolution, the socialism, construction, the reforming and open, and the socialism with Chinese characteristics. With a lofty ambition, the anthropology of China also takes its way in light of its own logics and laws. The Chinese anthropology faces the world and the future in full self-confidence. Since the 100 years from modern times of China till today, there are three factors which make helpful conditions for the Chinese anthropology forward the road for healthy development. About the three factors, they are orientation of the history, the actions of the Chinese Communist Party as a vitally leading force of politics, and the yearnings of pursuit of the people in the times of the Chinese socialism. The CPC is a political core, and it is most significant for the whole China to abide by CPC's all the way leadership. So it be to the anthropology of China. Response, attitude, and actions of the anthropology. Adherence in the following dimensions. Adherence to in the following dimensions. Number one, to the inspiration of its own value for human's progress of civilization, to adaptability of obedience to, response to the current times, to the rational attitude towards the inner logic and the norm of disciplinary development, to loyalty to its own nation, the motherland, to obedience and defendance to the CPC's political leadership, to dedication to service of the modernization building, to participate in the globalization and the building of human community of the shared fate, to the established efforts for its own development of discipline cluster in a way of cooperation and communication, to inclination of extending and expanding the space for the disciplinary buildings, to philosophy of the new development and the persistence in active participation and efficient communication at home and abroad. The keynote of conclusions. Man is created the animal of politics. The politics means to be of justice. Human's nature is made up of all the social relations. Accordingly, human's existence is a mirror for his own nature. In return, human's nature as a political animal strengthens his existence as man himself. Therefore, facing the drastic changes of the present world, anthropology ought to study and disclose and make a lead in the changing situation. Finally, I make a strong proposal to anthropology build up a new sector, a new branch of the political anthropology in order to adapt ourselves, of course, with anthropology included, to the changing society of the politics. Now, so much today for my speech. Thanks a lot to everyone.
谢谢你，老师。
大家，
我在。
我的演讲就到此为止结束了。看到了吗？大家。
等一下。老师。
大家。
啊，
你说。
老师您好，您好，非常非常感谢。
你好。
你讲的是非常非常有意思，接受很多欢迎。
对，学生和老师，他们能教你想说。
对，我们有直播，所以以后你会看到自己的直播，在我们的大学网站。
大学网站。
对。
好的。
我们会把链接发给您。
好的，好的。刚才我跟台家说，你们都能说汉语是吧？好。台家跟我拍了几张照片没有 ？Hello， 蔡家。
我在，老师。有人在这里，你想说一个？你想说？
这里有。
你好，墨西哥。你好，墨西哥。他们会听到你。
我是说你回头跟我发2张图片过来，我的图片过来怎么样？
把所有的照片我会发给您。
好的，非常感谢，非常感谢。
好的。
Welcome to China, OK? Welcome to Beijing and Chengdu, OK?
谢谢你，老师。
好的，好的。
OK,
谢谢。
that's OK?
对。
OK 啊。我怎么就看不到你们呢？
Encuentro entre China y México y entre nuestra universidad e instituciones chinas, y quiero acabar con una frase de Lao Tse que dice que el viaje de 1000 millas empieza con un paso, y yo creo que el día de hoy hemos tomado ese primer paso para poder estar más cercanos a una cultura y a un país del que podemos aprender mucho y del que también podemos recibir mucho apoyo. Muchas gracias. Finito.